Oh, Happy New Year. The Big 12's expansion resolution in 2024. Robbie, look, things are falling apart in the ACC. Florida State said they want to leave. I don't think Clemson and Miami are going to sit around and wait for this. Sounds like UNC and Virginia don't want to either. Do you see a realm? Because as the days go by, the more I dig into this, the more it seems like, all right, maybe Clemson and Miami's brands are not as big as we thought they were to get into the SEC or finagle their way in the Big Ten. Is there a way these teams fall to the Big 12?
That's where I need to trust Brett Yormark a whole lot, because I think culturally a school like Clemson and a school like Florida State, that is a perfect match for the SEC. I think that is exactly the schools that they want. And a school like Miami to me is, I can't believe it. I think Miami to me is the Big 12 school that the Big 12 or that they should be going for the hardest. And I've had this for a while because that's a team that hasn't necessarily had the recent success, but they have the history and they have a major city behind them in Miami. And I just think, to me,
Coral Gables, but yes.
Yes. But that, to me, that screams like a Brett Yormark type of school. Big market, big area that you can go for, and something that you can put in the Big 12 and they can be one of the best teams, not one that is consistently falling on their butt or straight on their head every single year that they've been doing really for a long time. So if I were the Big 12, obviously you want to get a Clemson and a Florida State. But for me, if you could end up with a Miami, that is massive. And you can I think that's where the strategy of Brett Yormark is, marketing and heading those big populated areas.
A lot of people are going to hear this argument and think that's a stupid, silly argument. And maybe it is, but I have been on this train for weeks now and I can't come off of it. If you make Clemson bad at football for the next 5 weeks, Dabo Swinney leaves. What did you just add to the SEC? What did you just bring to that conference? And are they still excited that they brought Clemson into the SEC? Florida State's bad at football for 5 years. If Texas or Oklahoma, if those schools are bad at Ohio State or Michigan, you still brought in Michigan. You still brought in Florida State. Again, because Clemson wasn't really on the map in college athletics 15 years ago as a powerhouse, now what does the SEC get with a team that when they lose Dabo Swinney might not have consistent wins? That's what helps build a brand and an endowment and an athletic revenue is winning, and winning at a peak level. Clemson just did that. That's how they got big. It wasn't, here's this historic powerhouse. It's here's this new blood that was good long enough to stay in the top of college football's on the tip of our tongue in college football. To me, that kind of screams Big 12.
That's a good point, but I also have to give credit to Clemson, as in they also as a university understood how important it is to have football being your biggest advertisement. And that is one of the schools when it comes to putting in money and resources. And Clemson is among the best in college football and investing. And I don't know if there's necessarily a Big 12 school here that not only has the funds, but is willing to do that. There are some that I give a lot of credit to, a school like Texas Tech is NIL, we need to do this thing. We need to put the money behind that. And I think that's a school that has the investors to do that. You have a school like TCU, who obviously, and Baylor as well, but are there going to be enough schools to be we need to literally go all in? We may lose money some year, but we need to make a major investment. And also the enrollment of Clemson just completely skyrocketed after they've done that. And that's where a Big 12 school really needs to do that. And if Clemson joins the Big 12, that would be the win of all wins, even if Dabo Swinney leaves, just because he has built the place to where it is. Yeah. And that's where I think that's a school that a lot of people, if that became open, would happily love to go to.
If the Big 12 is able to land a Miami or a Clemson and even into a Pitt, you create some of these, you build back some of these great rivalries, or a Louisville who has been thrown out in the ether. Is there a way this conference is competing to be a power three? I mean, does it feel like there's still such a sizable gap that the Big 12 will never get respect?
That's where I've made this point. If you go to my YouTube page, hi, I'm Robbie. I did a whole big video about what the Big 12 needs to do to close that gap. And the number one thing, and I think this gets lost on people, it's not the schools you add. It's not what Brett Yormark does to get Nelly in the building. It's not, let's have DJ Khaled coming out here. These teams just need to win. Like, that is the ultimate way to close the gap. You need Kansas State to be a consistent winner. You need TCU to go out there and like not have a 5-7 year after going to the national championship game. You need Oklahoma State. Like, this is where this league, like, we can talk about who can we get, how can we close the gap? Like, if you get a school like Miami, definitely that closes the gap. But the number one thing you need is a school that wins and wins and wins. So the next media rights deal, we can be like, we have this team that has done this much on the national stage and has this amount of ratings. And that's where, like, this is the ultimate way for the Big 12 to come back, is to develop a winner. And that's where I get a little bit concerned, because I'm not saying like if you are bad at recruiting or you're not in the 25, like, you suck, because I think there's so many amazing and great coaches in this league and like so much good development. But do you want to know who's a really good developer of talent? Nick Saban, Kirby Smart. Like, there's a reason so many of those players go to the NFL, because they get them and they make them to where they are. And that's where I think the Big 12 is just behind, and like, they just need to win. They need to continue to winning. And that's where, like, that's the only way to close the gap in my mind.
That's how you build a Clemson. You win. You build it. It starts with,
but consistent. Like, that's right. That's where I like the Big 12 can't have a team every single year. That sucks. That we're like, oh, it's a league of parity, but I don't want parity. It's like, but that's how you do it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a pipe dream. You have 3 teams at the top of the conference that all find their way into the college football playoff. A couple 11-1s and 1 12-0. That'd be good. And then those teams compete in the 12. That's you expedite the process. You expedite the process with as many college football playoff teams as possible moving forward and winning in the college football playoff. Speaking of winning, I feel like I always win as a follower of Robbie Triano on Twitter. How can people find your work?
You can follow me on Twitter at the Triano Kid. Right now, I'm living in the great city of Chicago. I work for 670 The Score, so. Great little place, #1 radio station in Chicago. But I just started a YouTube page because I'm like, like, why not? Like, I'm tired of just going on this Drake guy's show. Maybe I should do my own.
That's me.
To them. Yeah.
Right?
No, but I love you very much. So that was not a dig at all. But yeah, you can follow me there on YouTube. Hi, I'm Robbie. I do college football, do whatever's on my mind. And I love doing the show because I consider you a great friend.
Thanks, Robbie. I'm just subscribing to you on Hi, I'm Robbie with the Locked On Big 12 channel. Thanks for joining Locked On Big 12. I've missed you.
Yeah, I miss you too. But to the people at home, I love your school. I don't want to say Oklahoma and Texas is all better than you. I'm just saying they kind of help.
They're good. They're good. They're big, but they're kind of stinky to be around sometimes.
Oh, also, before we leave, I asked this, what do you think out of all the Big 12 schools is the broken ice cream machine? Like, which school is the broken ice cream machine at McDonald's? Because I had one and I don't think you'll like it.
Okay, who is it then? Who's yours?
No, I want your guess first.
I need your explanation for why it's your broken ice cream machine, so I know exactly what you're.
So I'll give you. So when you have the ice cream at McDonald's or the McFlurry, it is so delicious. But the thing is, like, most of the time it's broken. But when it is working, oh my God, it's good.
It's great.
So what school is that?
Oh, wow. The thing is, you're going to have to go with an irate 8 team because there's no way to have a sample size of ice cream machines for the new guys. And is it Baylor?
It's Baylor.
It has to be.
When they're at the best, they are so good.
Yeah.
But like when it's broken, oh my God, it sucks.
Throw it away. Yeah, because TCU and Tech have been there have been some consistent teams in the irate 8, and Baylor's not one of those. Baylor's one of the, you know what? This year, I'm going to win. I'm just going to win. And then next year, I'm going to go 3-9. You take that.
This year was a broken ice cream machine year. Definitely.
Oh, this has been, it always will be. Thank you guys for being here. It was great to have you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.